Viewer discretion advised. It all begins at 3 a.m. on 15 January 2019. Mia, former personal assistant, now protected behind an alias, snaps awake in a hotel bed, heart rattling her ribs. Fingers shaking, she types a single line to the boss she hasn't seen in 2 years. Just dreamed I was trapped in an elevator with R.Kelly. You kicked the doors in and saved me. She hits send, rolls over, and tries to forget it. 6 years later, that little blue bubble glows 10 feet tall in a Manhattan courtroom. Prosecutors say it proves trauma runs so deep it rewires gratitude. Diddy's lead attorney, Brian Steele, says it tastes like make-believe, because what victim writes a thank you note to her tormentor? Flashback to autumn 2009. Mia is 19, broke, and dazzled by the idea of working for hip-hop royalty. She passes iron gates and marble fountains at Combs Holmby Hills estate, signs a non-disclosure the thickness of a Bible, and is told she'll see more of the world in a month than most people manage in a lifetime. Hours later, during Diddy's all-star 40th birthday after-party, she finds herself carrying champagne past Pharrell and Jay-Z when the mogul suddenly pulls her close and plants a kiss she never invited. The music is deafening, the flashbulbs blinding. No one notices her freeze. The next morning, her inbox holds flight confirmations, hotel suites, and a pay bump big enough to rescue her parents' mortgage. She convinces herself it was a one-off stumble, the cost of proximity. Months slide past in a blur of private jets, red carpets, and 3 a.m. phone calls. Then, on a sticky Los Angeles night in mid-2010, Diddy texts. Need fresh towels? Guest room. Mia trots up the mahogany staircase, balancing linens and a knot in her stomach. She walks in, the door clicks shut, and, according to her sworn statement, everything changes. There is no camera, no witness, only a sudden silence broken by the hum of pool lights outside. She says he forced himself on her, then draped a Cartier bracelet on her wrist and poured top-shelf cognac as though nothing had happened. By sunrise, she is on a Paris flight, first-class seat, bracelet winking under cabin lights, and, as she later tells jurors, a new understanding that the perks were gilded locks on an invisible cage. Fast forward to the Instagram era, and the defense seizes on a reel of affectionate texts. Love you forever, Puff. Best mentor on earth. Heart emojis, birthday tributes, even footage of Mia singing Happy Birthday in Madrid. Steele projects each image bigger than life, spinning slowly so the jury can read every shimmering pixel. Does that look like fear? He asks. Mia steps back into the witness box and delivers the line the gallery later replays on loop. Psychologists call it the betrayal cycle. Lavish gifts, sudden cold shoulder until you beg to matter, then more luxury until the dopamine rush buries the terror. That is how a cage can smell like Dior. Steele's cross-examination runs 3 days and is brutal enough that sketch artists draw his jaw clenched like a prizefighter's. He rifles through nightclub selfies, GPA scores, even her Spotify playlists. He ends with the elevator nightmare, reading the text twice, voice dripping disbelief. Mia never flinches. "Dreams show who owns your terror," she says. A reporter tweets the quote before lunch is over. Nightmare savior trends by dinner. Week 3. Prosecutors dim the courtroom lights. A grainy 2016 hotel elevator clip fills the screens. Combs lunging at girlfriend Cassie Ventura, shoving, shouting, a shoe skittering across marble. Gasps hit the walnut paneling in waves. The judge allows it as pattern evidence. Defense calls it tabloid theater, but the image is scorched on the jury's retinas now. Later, a hotel guard testifies Combs wired $100,000 to buy the tape before TMZ could. Forensic accountants follow, mapping shell company payouts labeled consultant fees that line up, almost to the day, with NDAs from ex-employees. Steele scoffs, just generous stipends, but the rows of numbers look less like philanthropy and more like hush money on autopay. Outside, The courthouse plaza mutates into a carnival. Some protesters chant, "Believe black women," others wave, "Due process for Diddy." TikTok teens remix courtroom quotes over bad boy beats. Spotify streams for Bad Boy for Life jump 20%. 50 Cent tweets that any presidential pardon would earn nuclear shade. White House press briefings can't dodge the question, wedging a rap mogul between inflation numbers and foreign policy. Inside, Combs remains slickly poised. Bespoke charcoal suit, gold tie clip, tinted reading glasses he claims ease eye strain. Reporters count at least twice when he halts his own attorney mid-question with a raised eyebrow, rewrites the sentence on a yellow legal pad, then nods for the show to continue. Jurors watch every tick. One former prosecutor tells CNN, "I've never seen a defendant quarterback his defense this hard." The prosecution closes with a quiet, almost surgical lap. Lead counsel Maureen Comey walks jurors through a timeline: birthday kiss, guest room assault, Cassie elevator slam, hush payment spreadsheet, R.Kelly dream. She pauses beside Mia and lays one hand on the rail. "Love notes can be survival notes," she says. "Don't confuse a velvet cage with devotion." Steele rises for rebuttal, painting the case as #justice and breakup revenge. "If loving texts are abuse," he tells jurors, "jail us all." 12 strangers vanish to deliberate. Las Vegas books set odds. Podcasters schedule emergency episodes. Mia waits in a white-walled room, tea cooling on the table, repeating the mantra she learned in therapy: "Don't save me, see me." Hours drag. Reporters in the atrium compare the tension to the OJ verdict. Street vendors hawk t-shirts reading, "Elevators remember." When the bailiff finally appears, expression locked, verdict envelope in hand, cameras are banned, so the world hovers over phones as though a push notification will decide culture in real time. Inside, jurors file back, faces unreadable. For Mia, each second stretches wide enough to fall through. Guilty or not, she thinks, the story is public now. It has its own life, copied, shared, memed, sung. Maybe that's freedom. Maybe another kind of captivity. The clerk stands, the envelope crinkles open, and somewhere deep in the courthouse an elevator bell dings, a tiny echo reminding everyone why they're here. Whatever words spill next, guilty, hung, slim acquittal, one truth is already locked in. The glittering mythology of hip-hop royalty can mask corridors of darkness, and sometimes it takes a single nightmare text to fling the doors wide. If a jury brands those corridors criminal, the music world rewrites a chapter overnight. If they don't, the debate will rage on every timeline for years. Either way, Mia's voice, once buried under cashmere throw blankets and first-class itineraries, has broken through. And now that her story is loose in the culture, nothing, not even diamond-studded headphones or platinum records, can stuff it back into silence.